Welcome to Free and On the Road. Thank you so much for all of my subscribers. I appreciate all the support that I have. Today, we are going to go ahead and do a cupping. So I have already posted 2 cuppings on my channel. I hope you've enjoyed them. I hope you've learned something from them. I know I'm learning as the time goes on. I'm trying to learn the right verbiage so I can explain to you how things taste and how things smell. So I am working on that, but that's the whole point of this, is building up our sensory skills. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything prepped right now, and then we'll go ahead and get started. We are doing wet washed versus dry natural process. It says washed coffees typically have more of a bright acidity to light up the mouth with citrus, apple, grape-like or tomato zest. This cup should finish very clean and have more delicate clarity or flavor. Washed fermentation boosts acidity and cleanliness of the cup. Natural coffees with the fruit dried upon the seed, that means that they actually let it dry, the fruit dry on the coffee seed, provides an extra sweet and full body. They may display a winey or earthy flavor, aromas as the mucilage and bacteria impart flavor to the seed. Into the seed. You're going to look for a higher body, but also some light-colored Quaker-like beans impacting this clean freshness. So this is the natural process bean. I think last time I didn't really show you the beans, so I should probably do that. This is a natural process. And I'm sorry, that's wrong. That's the dried process. This is the natural process. They do look different. Okay, so this one is the washed process. So I need to make sure I keep washed on this side. Okay. So there, I don't know if you can see the difference in the beans, but this is the washed and this is the dried. So I measured out 10 grams because I know that once I need 8.5 grams is what I need. So I made sure I cleaned out my grinder. If you watched my last one, I forgot to clean out my grinder, so I had other coffee in there. So I made sure there was no other coffee in my grinder. I measured exactly 10, and I'm going to go ahead and grind all of that up so my grinder is cleaned out again. All right, so this is the wet wash. We're going to measure out 8.5 grams of the ground coffee. The main thing with cuppings is making sure that you have the same exact everything so that we can do an exact comparison. Okay. All right, so I should have 8.5 grams of this coffee as well. All right, so we start the process by smelling our beans. Let me get you angled down here so you can see what's going on a little better. There we go. All right, so we're going to start the process by smelling our dry beans that don't yet have any water on them. So this is the wet washed. It smells very sweet. I smell light. Oops. Woohoo. I smell some sort of citrusy notes in there for sure. All right, let's smell the dry. This actually smells very fruity. I don't know. It smells almost citrusy to myself too. We're going to see how, I think this is like maybe more of a grape flavor. I don't know. Okay, so I have my water at 200 degrees. That is the perfect brewing temperature. I am going to go ahead and fill both of these bowls to the top. I have it pre-measured for the correct ratio for the SCA cupping. You can see that in the comment, or I'll put that up on the description here. You can see it starting to bloom. I'm going to put on a 4-minute timer. I'm going to give it a quick smell right after it got some of that water in there to smell the aroma.
4 minutes. Counting down.
I don't know how to explain it. I actually think the dry natural smells sweeter. We're going to give this 4 minutes, and then we're going to come back and break the crust on these, okay? All right, our 4-minute timer is up, so we're going to go ahead and break the crust on these. I see they've kind of already settled a little bit in that 4-minute time, but we're going to go ahead and break the crust. I'm going to do the wet washed first. I'm trying to figure out what I'm smelling here. It smells very light. It's such a light smell, like very light and I don't know. It was very light. This one is very much darker of a smell. It's very, I don't know. I can't really smell a big difference between the two of these, to be totally honest. This one's not as citrusy smelling as that one was. There, I can smell a little more like that. Get those oils on there. It's like this one doesn't smell as citrusy. They're both pretty light though. This one smells sweeter. All right, we're gonna just clean off the tops here. I don't know if it's because I had this coffee for a week before I did it. It wasn't quite as fresh as my last batch. I think I took too long to do my cupping on these, but it obviously didn't have it's not as fresh as the first time that I did my cupping. You can tell the freshness on it, and that was my fault. I should have done this a week ago, and I didn't. All right, we're going to go ahead and taste these. I'm going to taste the wet washed. Wow, that is very, very sweet. I taste citrus in it for sure, like right in the middle of my tongue. Very citrusy, very smooth. But it's definitely tart. Like, I don't know exactly, like, I guess that's the acidity in it. It's definitely like a bright cup, but you can taste the tartness in it. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite. I don't know. It's like very, it's when it, to me, when it's like very citrusy and light, it's not my favorite. I like it when it's a little bit more round and robust. So let's try the natural. This is definitely a lot darker. Like, it tastes darker. It's interesting. They're the same exact bean, I think. El Salvador. Oh, one's yellow bourbon, and the other one's Conquista Geisha. So they're a little bit different blend. These are natural, and this is washed. Very interesting. I taste chocolate notes. For sure. Some sort of like it's very it's very smooth on the tongue though. You don't feel like that acidity in it. It's very smooth. The flavor on your color palette is very, even though it's like a stronger flavor, it's still very sweet. So for me personally, if I were like to compare, because I'm not actually cupping to score, these cuppings would be for like, they would use it for scoring in the coffee realm. And if a specialty coffee scores over 80, or if a coffee scores over 80, it is in the specialty coffee realm. I'm not scoring it. I'm just learning my sensory here. So with the sensory, I would say the dry or natural is more what I would lean towards. As far as scoring, I don't know exactly how to score yet. That's going to be something I learn in my next step of doing this coffee training. I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes, and I'm actually going to come back and do one more taste on it. But yeah, I think that the difference, I can definitely taste the difference between the wet wash and the dry natural. I'm pretty sure wet washed is more of a industry standard, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that is more of an industry standard, is a wet washed, and the dry natural is, you can get it, but it's not as common. But anyway, I think that in these particular coffees, I would go with this El Salvadorian dry natural, just because it has that nice, I don't know, to me it has a complete flavor. It has, I am definitely tasting like a chocolate notes. It definitely has like a light, crisp flavor, but I wouldn't say citrus. It just covers the mouth so perfectly. I'm going to go back to this wet wash one more time before we close out. See, now that I've done that dry natural, maybe I should like clean my palate a little bit, because now that I've done that dry natural, this tastes different. Or maybe it's a little cooler. This definitely still has, I can taste the acidity in this one. You can feel that like it almost is drier in your mouth. I taste like a dry acidity. I taste citrus. I don't know like what kind of citrus I'd say. I can't pinpoint that yet. I'll have to work on my sensory better. This one almost leaves like you can feel it, like when you swallow it, you can kind of almost feel the acidity in it. That one, I couldn't taste any of that in it at all. So very interesting. All right. Well, thank you for watching this week's cupping on Free and On the Road. I hope that it's given you a little bit of insight into the beginning of learning how to cup. I am not a professional cupper. I'm actually in the process of doing my training to become a professional cupper. Some people have asked me what exactly is a Q grader certification. A Q grader is somebody that is kind of like a sommelier in the wine world, but in the coffee world. They should probably come up with a way cooler name than Q grader, because I mean, the wine world has sommelier. Why can't we be called something cool too? Anyway, I have learned a lot with this sensory training. I have one more cupping to go. If you're enjoying it, make sure you check out my channel for the other cupping. A lot of other fun content coming out. I will be coming out with some more simple syrups if you are enjoying those recipes, and maybe a couple tutorials on making some drinks and using those simple syrups. So if you're interested in that, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. Check me out on all of my socials. I'm on Insta, Facebook, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. Don't forget, keep on brewing.